design has always been more than decoration. It reflects how we live, what we value, and how we imagine the future. In the 20th century, a series of movements transformed not only the objects and buildings around us, but also our entire way of seeing. Each one redefined what beauty and function could mean. From Art Nouveau to minimalism, today we uncover how modern design took form and how it continues to shape the world we live in. Modern design didn't begin with simplicity. It began with ornament, with a desire to bring beauty back into everyday life. At the turn of the 20th century, Art Nouveau, meaning new art in French, emerged across Europe as a bridge between art and industry. It flourished from the 1890s to the early 1910s as a reaction against the rise of machines and mass production. Designers sought to restore individuality, emotion, and craftsmanship to a rapidly modernizing world. It was the first time the modern world tried to make beauty for everyone, not just for art's sake, but for living itself. Its hallmark was the organic line, flowing, asymmetrical, and inspired by nature. Artists studied the curves of plants, the rhythm of vines, and the movement of water. Buildings seemed to bloom like flowers, ironwork twisted like stems, and glass and stone formed one continuous surface alive with motion. This new aesthetic appeared everywhere, in furniture, posters, jewelry, textiles, and even in the entrances of the Paris metro. For the first time, art was not confined to galleries. It entered homes, cafes, and city streets, making beauty part of daily life. In the work of Alphonse Mucha, the human figure merged with swirling organic patterns, turning simple advertisements into art. Hector Guimard's architecture transformed metal into movement, while Antoni Gaudi's creations in Barcelona turned structure into sculpture, as if nature itself had designed them. The theorists of the movement encouraged unity, the idea that art and design should flow naturally from one object to another. They rejected the heavy ornament of the Victorian era and insisted that good design could improve daily life. Art Nouveau expressed the belief that beauty could elevate the human spirit and bring poetry into everyday life. But the world was changing. As industry advanced, designers began to ask a new question. What if beauty could be built through function? The search for beauty through ornament gradually gave way to a new idea. Founded in Germany in 1919 by architect Walter Gropius, the Bauhaus began with a simple belief that art, craft, and technology should work together. It wasn't just a school. It was a vision for how design could rebuild a broken world after the First World War. Gropius created a hands-on curriculum that trained a new generation of designers and craftsmen to make objects that were not only useful, but also beautiful, perfectly suited to a changing world. In the Bauhaus workshops, painters, sculptors, and architects worked side by side with carpenters, metalworkers, and typographers. Every object, whether a chair or a building, was stripped of unnecessary ornament. The guiding principle was simple: form follows function. Beauty was found not in decoration, but in clarity, proportion, and purpose. The school's teachers were among the most influential artists of the century, including Paul Klee, Wassily Kandinsky, Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, and Joseph Albers. Their experiments blurred the boundaries between art and design, transforming geometry and abstraction into a new visual language for the modern age. They taught students to see form, color, and space in a completely new way. The school lasted only 14 years, yet its legacy endures. The Bauhaus proved that design could be both rational and beautiful, a way of thinking that changed not only how things were made, but also how people lived. As Bauhaus embraced simplicity and function, another vision of modernity emerged, one that found beauty in glamour, geometry, and luxury. Emerging in the 1920s, Art Deco also reflected a world eager to move forward after the devastation of war. It was optimistic, bold, and confident. Art Deco captured the spirit of progress and the world's renewed desire to celebrate modern life. Inspired by the rhythm of the city and the motion of machines, designers turned to geometry, symmetry, and precision. The forms were sharp and streamlined, yet elegant. Art Deco combined craftsmanship with modern materials, bringing together the old world and the new. From skyscrapers and movie theaters to jewelry and furniture, Art Deco transformed the visual world of the early 20th century. The Chrysler Building in New York, with its shining spire and metallic curves, became one of its most iconic symbols. In graphic design, bold typography and geometric patterns captured the rhythm of modern life. Posters and advertisements mirrored the energy of jazz, cinema, and the growing pace of the city. Art Deco embodied the glamour of the machine age. It was modern, but never cold, combining the sparkle of ornament with the discipline of geometry. It reflected a moment in time when progress felt endless and design became a symbol of hope and prosperity. But by the late 1930s, the mood shifted. Economic depression and the approach of another war turned design towards simplicity and restraint. The glitter of Art Deco faded, giving way to a more human vision of modern life. After the Second World War, people wanted to rebuild not only their cities but their homes. They longed for spaces that felt modern, simple, and filled with hope. Mid-century modern design, which has recently regained attention on social media, first emerged between the 1940s and the 1960s. It carried the ideals of modernism into everyday life, blending functionality with warmth and humanism. The new generation of designers embraced mass production, but they did it with sensitivity and grace. They experimented with new materials, such as molded plywood, fiberglass, and steel, creating furniture that was both affordable and beautiful. This style favored bold, vibrant colors like mustard yellow and avocado green, often contrasted with neutral tones. The goal was not luxury but accessibility. Good design should belong to everyone. In the United States, Charles and Ray Eames became pioneers of this vision. Their designs were playful yet practical, merging art, science, and daily life. The Eames lounge chair and their molded plywood chairs remain timeless symbols of modern comfort. In Europe, Arno Jacobsen, Alvar Aalto, and Eero Saarinen explored similar ideas. Their work combined organic curves with clean geometry, bringing a sense of nature and balance to modern living spaces. Scandinavian design, in particular, embodied the belief that simplicity and warmth could coexist. Natural wood, soft light, and functional beauty created interiors that felt human rather than industrial. Architecture followed the same path. Homes opened up with larger windows, open floor plans, and a closer connection to the outdoors. The boundary between inside and outside began to dissolve. The focus shifted from decoration to experience, how people lived, gathered, and connected. Mid-century modern design captured the harmony of its time. It imagined a better world through simplicity, honesty, and innovation. As the century moved forward, modern life grew faster and busier. In that fullness, designers began to long for space, for calm, for meaning. Born in the 1960s, minimalism began as an artistic rebellion, but soon became a way of thinking, a search for stillness, honesty, and the essential. In art, figures such as Donald Judd and Agnes Martin stripped their work down to its simplest form, focusing on line, material, and space. Their pursuit of purity soon extended beyond the gallery, influencing how we built, furnished, and lived. It asked a simple but profound question: how much can we remove before nothing essential is lost? Minimalism reflected a longing for stillness in a world that never stopped moving. Designers and architects sought beauty through reduction, balance, and space. The guiding belief was that simplicity could be profound. A well-considered object or a carefully shaped space could express more through absence than abundance. In architecture, figures such as Tadao Ando, Mies van der Rohe, and John Pawson shaped environments of stillness and light. Smooth concrete, glass, and natural textures created spaces that invited contemplation. Each line, surface, and shadow was intentional. In product design, the same spirit took hold. Brands like Muji and later Apple embraced the elegance of restraint, showing that simplicity could feel both timeless and intuitive. Through minimalism, design became quiet again, a language of space, light, and intention. Today, its influence is everywhere, in architecture, furniture, and even digital design. Whenever we choose clarity over clutter or pause to appreciate the beauty of a single form, we are, in some way, living with the spirit of minimalism. From Art Nouveau to minimalism, the story of modern design is a story of how we have shaped our world and how it has shaped us in return. Each movement built upon the one before it, transforming how we see beauty, how we live, and how we create. Modern design is not only about style, it is a reflection of our hopes, our values, and the way we imagine a better world. Which movement resonates with you the most? Share your favorite in the comments. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.